Hi there, it's Mary from stampingmary.stampinup.net. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's card features some items that are retiring from Stampin' Up and also some items that are arriving in the beginning of May. So we're going to use a stamp set that's retiring, this one here with you in mind. That's the sentiment in the inside. And then we're going to use Gallery Blooms. Both the stamps and the dies for this set are retiring. I've put links in the description bar below for those products. The Gallery Blooms dies are huge. There's loads of dies that go with this set, and I've gone ahead and die cut them out. But if you are looking for a beautiful rose type stamp set and dies, I highly recommend Gallery Blooms. The new one that we're using is the Stampin' Cut and Embossed dies. Look at that. Look at those scallop dies. Aren't they fabulous? They are available in May from the new mini catalogue. And the ribbon, this is the gold ribbon. It's also retiring. And we're going to use the Stamping Positioner, which is our new stamping positioner tool. And it is available also in May. So let's go ahead and get this made. I've already gone ahead and stamped and die cut, but I'm going to redo it and show you how I did it. So I'm using a piece of fresh freesia for the base, and it measures 4 1/4 by 9. We need another piece of fresh freesia for the insert. It measures 8 1/2 by 3. We need our 3 pieces of designer series paper for the front. It's the mixed up patterns, and they measure 2 3/4 by 4 and 1 1/2 by 4, but don't panic. I've written all of those in the description bar below. Our pieces for the inside, I've also popped those. I've gone ahead and stamped the happy birthday, and as I said, that's the stamp set that is retiring. I recommend it. If you're looking for a really good birthday sentiment stamp set, that's one I would highly recommend you get. And the scallop, so there it is there. If you possibly can't pick it up so much on the video, but I have already cut that one out in vellum, but I felt it needed a little bit more colour, so this one I've cut out in Bubble Bath. So fresh freesia and Bubble Bath, they are a beautiful combination together. Let's score our base. So the base is going to be scored at 1 3/4 and 7 1/4. 1 3/4. 7 3/4. And it's, yeah, oh no, sorry, 1 3/4 and 7 1/4. And then for this insert piece, that's going to be scored at 4 1/4. Fold those pieces in. Give them a really good burnish. Oh, that does not look right. That is not right. That's definitely not right. What have I done wrong here? Let me grab my... Maybe I didn't cut that right. Okay. 1 3/4. Yep. And 7 1/4. What have I done? Oh dear. 7 1/4. You know what? We're not going to see that, I don't think. Let's see if we can get away with it. 7 1/4. Whoops. Let me see. I might just have to go with this and hope for the best. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct now. I got this. Yeah. Well, let's just do it. I mean, it's not going to look so great on the back, but I don't really want to waste that cardstock. And so it's 1 1/4 and 1 3/4 and 7 1/4. Anyway, let's burnish that, and we'll just try not to think about that piece that's at the bottom. And this is our insert piece, which we just going to fold in half and burnish, and then that's going to go right in there in the middle. So let's do that with some Tombow. Now you could measure it, which is probably what we should do, but I'm just going to eyeball about the centre. And then just bring that right up so it's flush at the bottom. Like I said, if you don't want to see the bottom of it, just trim a little bit off there. That's good. And then we won't see the other score line because we're going to cover it up with this, which we'll do now. We've all done it, right? Come on, we've all done it. Put that on there. And we may as well go ahead and put our sentiment on as well. See what I mean? You can just see a little bit along there, but if it doesn't worry you, just leave it. And one will go there. Alright, so that's how it closes up. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, that's good. Perfect. Alright, once we have our sentiment down there, that will hold it down a bit flatter. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to show you how I did that. So that will go, the designer series paper will go on here. Let's go ahead and put it on, shall we? I've really been into fun folds recently. I really enjoy them. I don't enjoy the ones that are too complicated, I have to say. I like an easy fun fold that looks complicated. They're much more satisfying. The recipient of your card will think you've put hours of work into it, when really it didn't take you that long. Okay. I'm going to put I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this one. Dimensional backing holder. This mixed up patterns or mixed up designs? Mixed up patterns. The links in the description bar. It's really pretty paper. Really pretty paper. Okay, before we put that together, I'm going to show you the stamping positioner tool. So this is the stamping positioner tool. It replaced our Stamparatus, which we no longer have, and it is great for these big images like that where you need to get plenty of ink, and sometimes they might take a second, you know, they might not take all the ink first off, so whoops. But don't worry about that ink that's on there because it won't transfer. So it's one plate. So it comes with the two little magnets, which are not like the other magnets that if they came together they broke. No. These two little edges here are spongy, little yeah, they make the plate go up and down. They've got a spring. Gosh, what was I trying to say then? Spongy. They're springs. Okay, now we might need to restamp that. But if we needed to restamp it, we don't need to. We'll just have to re-ink and then replace over the top. And you notice none of that extra ink transferred on there. That's because it just doesn't with the stamping positioner tool, which I have linked in the description bar as well, although it's not available until the beginning of May. So I die cut this one out, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the colouring. So I used Fresh Freesia and Bubble Bath. So I went in with my dark Fresh Freesia, which is this one right here, and just on the lines of this, where those little shadow lines are, I've gone in with the dark. I'll put some around here as well. There are so many different ways to use your blends. This is just the way I do. And then I come in with my light just to soften out all those dark lines, and also so you can see the shading. I love colouring with blends. This is such a nice stamp set. And then we have a couple more. So I did this one, the two top and the bottom with Fresh Freesia, and then this one is Bubble Bath, and I used Shaded Spruce for the leaves to put it together. So that was my very quick lesson in stamping blends. Oops, get it out of the way. Right, so I'm going to pop this one on with, oh, I've transferred some ink on there. I don't think you'll see it once I get this on. No, you won't. Oh, I like that. I like that with the Bubble Bath. Okay, I think it stands out a bit more than this one. Oh dear, I must have ink on my hands. Oh dear, I'm getting quite a bit of ink on there now. Okay, quite a bit of ink. Let's just hope I can cover that up. Dear, it's been a problem from beginning to end, hasn't it really? Let me see. I don't think you'll see it if I go that way, and then once I put the ribbon on, you just wipe my hands. There we go. Hopefully I'll be able to cover that up. Yep, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on here now. Oopsie. Go straight, maybe that's slightly at an angle that way, cover up some of my folly. There we go. And then the beautiful other pieces of the dies from the Gallery Blooms dies, I also cut in Shaded Spruce. Let's just pop them in. A little bit of glue on the bottom, and then I'm going to pop it in around there. We'll use our ribbon to cover that little ink splotch up. I don't think it needs a sentiment on the front, although of course you could put a sentiment on the front. It would work. Go there. You're not gonna see my other little piece of messiness there. Same with this one. Come in there. Okay. Let's pop that under there. Come on, glue. Don't let me down. Just there. And one more. You could use your adhesive sheets to cut those out too, but Okay. And the ribbon. Come on down, ribbon. I know you're here, hiding out in front of me. So this is the mesh ribbon. It's been around for quite a long time, so it's been very popular, this ribbon. If it's still available, don't delay. Because our new catalogue that's coming out at the beginning of May doesn't have a huge amount of ribbon. All the young colours are in ribbon, obviously, but not so much, not a lot of ribbon. So yeah, I always tend, when the clearance lines come out, I generally always tend to get myself a backup of ribbon because I love ribbon. I think it's always good to have a little stash of ribbon. Why not? Go, and you won't even see my big old mistake there. There's two mistakes on here, but let's not talk about them. So let's trim that off a little bit. And yes, it will fit into an envelope. It's a little bit bulky for an envelope, but it will fit. Maybe this is a card that you hand to somebody as opposed to mailing it, because it might make the postage a little bit more expensive. If you have some nice embellishments, they would look beautiful on there too. I probably could have popped some embellishments on there, but let's just go with this. So there you have it, the inside, and such a pretty card, really pretty card. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, stampingmary@gmail.com. Thank you so much and have a great day.